interrupt this program to bring you a special report. This is episode 12 of the Loud Love Podcast, a special Loud Love Live, where I host my friends Amy Elizabeth and Chris Rockwell from the Tuckerton Porchfest. Check out our conversation.
Just no fucking reason, just doubting it for no reason.
Did someone just like tell you that?
So for you to doubt what I'm saying has to indicate you have serious trust issues. Because what purpose would you have to doubt that? Like,
it just sounds so weird.
It sounds so made up that you think I made it up.
Yeah.
Rhubarb. Rhubarb.
Okay, but now I'm standing upon business. All right. So if I'm going to look this up and show you, you're going to concede the point.
Well,
I'm asking.
Well, if it's a thing, then I'll say like maybe you're
In
right.
film and theater, rhubarb is a term used to refer to background noise mimicking and the murmur of a crowd. It's a technique where actors repeat the word rhubarb or similar indistinct phrases to create the sound of simultaneous conversations without actual meaningful dialogue.
All right. So is it what you said it was?
Yeah.
Is it?
That works for me.
How is it not?
But it's not exactly what you said it was.
Be like rhubarb, rhubarb, rhubarb.
Okay. Whatever.
You know.
What did I say it was that was different than that?
You said it was like when they check a microphone.
No, it's what the extras in the backgrounds would do when they were testing sound for like getting all of them to sound like they were having conversation. They would all just repeat that one word.
Okay.
Why is your mic stand like that?
I don't know.
It was like, I just figured, we're sitting.
Is that better?
Yeah. It kind of looks like we're playing Hangman a little bit.
Yeah, that's good.
It's canceled. Do we know that?
Hangman got canceled?
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you mean Hangman got canceled?
Well, I mean, like suicide prevention calls for it, like being insensitive. Like we were not allowed to play it at work. Like when I worked at the mental health treatment center, like it was a game that was like on the list of allowed.
It's
to
not.
play.
It's not about suicide. It's about murder. Right.
Fair enough.
I mean,
yes.
Yeah, it's not.
But
so I should think it should be fine.
I guess either way, it could be triggering, right? Like someone hanging there. Maybe someone like is not only like dealing with like suicide thoughts, they could be like dealing with a level of grief.
If someone's having homicidal thoughts, then welcome to being a fucking American.
Wow.
Yes. In 2025.
Yeah. It's like if a kid's having homicidal thoughts, they're ready to drive on the Garden State Parkway. They just need to get their license. That's the only test. Do you want to kill someone? Here is 4,000 pounds of steel and glass and a driver's license.
It's a
Here's
really
the
damn
keys.
good point.
Yeah,
We should be rolling for all this.
Oh, we are. I'm getting all of this.
So we're sound checked.
We're sound checked. We're ready to roll.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is going to be nice. This is I'm kind of pitching it as
I can
Loud
move
Love
this.
Live.
Oh my God.
Yeah, see, now it's like just coming straight at you.
How long is this supposed to go on for? Are we done?
Yeah. It's a good thing, I guess, this isn't on video because I would have to put up, some explicit content, banners and stuff like that. Okay. No, we're good.
Yeah, I was wondering how I was going to hide all of my
Her home.
stuff. I really cleaned
My
for
living
this.
conditions. How do I hide it?
Do you see the episodes that I post, like of my area where I'm relegated to do my stuff?
Okay.
It's just, there's
fair.
just stacks of stuff everywhere.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fair. All right.
Kids running in the background, piles of laundry falling over mid-conversation.
Tell the kids to put the laundry away.
There you
That's for
go.
starters.
Give them a
Oh, I do.
task.
It's time to start pulling your
You know?
weight around here, kiddo.
That's right.
Sometimes they just need something to do.
They do.
That's really all it was for me. I am hyperactive.
You didn't grow out of that.
I had someone tell me once that they don't think that my personality developed at all. That it was installed at birth and I've been this way since I was a kid. And it really, as a theory, tracks. I've like pretty much have been like this. I feel like you haven't been like this.
No, I've grown into this.
This is, I feel like you.
It's a process. It's evolution.
Into this. We'll have to talk about what this is.
Okay.
Before I do, so welcome everybody, whoever's listening to the Loud Love Podcast. We're doing a special live edition. This is going to probably come out tomorrow.
Cool.
This way we can get the word out for Tuckerton Porchfest 2025, which is happening on
Saturday, May 31st.
Yes.
11 a.m. to 7 p.m.
11 a.m. 7 p.m. That's a long day of music, but
Well, it's not for the weak.
It isn't. No, you
We're
have
not, It isn't for the week.
You have to train. You have to train for Tuckerton Pork.
Yes, you have to watch Rocky
Porchfest.
4.
But it is for everyone. Like the cool part is like, say you have like kids and you want to maybe like bring your family out in the beginning part of the day, you know, and then we have like an after party going on from 4 to 7.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That there's an after party.
Oh, so that's where all the scandalous stuff happens.
Right.
Right.
From the witching hours of 4 to 7 p.m.
Yeah. Yes.
The scandalous Alice and Stella. She's like a beacon of light.
Yeah. Yeah. We have Alice and Stella playing as a featured performer for our after party. And then we have like an open jam going, but we'll may have like a couple other special
You
guests.
gonna come jam, Vinny?
I would jam.
All right. Bring your own instruments. And Tyler recommends that everyone, this is great because now I could just tell everyone right now, instead of putting it on the flyer, although we'll have to put this on the flyer, who's very adamant that people need to bring their own cymbal stands. That sounds right.
And cymbal stands.
Drummers,
I wish he was
bring your
here.
own hardware.
So cymbal stands is
That's like a thing
unusual.
you bring. Oh.
Everyone bringing their own cymbals. That's par for the course.
Yeah, that's
cymbal
like
stands
typical.
is not usually, but I mean, if you want to tell them that and they can bring their own cymbal stands,
I think maybe they should
Make them
so
take
too.
it just in case.
Yeah.
You don't want to be stuck.
be without them.
It's
Somebody
better
just
to-
like holding a cymbal on their finger.
Yeah, because I think he's just backlining just the drums for the after party.
Okay.
Just the shells.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that sounds right. Here we go.
Okay.
You know, I'm
So
good
yeah.
at remembering
This
things
is
that
Vinny's first rodeo.
that are direct.
This isn't my first rutabaga.
you know, like I was talking and I just was listening vaguely because I was waiting for the next time.
Typically,
it was my
if they're
turn.
bringing, they're doing just the skins, just the shells.
Yeah.
And then someone has to bring usually their own snare and breakables.
Well, I'll tell him to listen to this and be like, tell me if that was
I need
right.
verification.
Yeah,
Everyone attending should be listening to this show.
right.
I'd also be remiss. We talked about your headliner for the after party, but we didn't talk about you guys. So introduce yourselves to the world.
I'm Amy. This is Chris.
My voice suddenly got deeper.
Amy threw her voice across the room.
Yes, yeah, into the other microphone. Oh, I am. I am Amy Elizabeth, or some people know me as Amy with the pink hair
Amy with
now.
pink hair.
That just stuck. Yeah, I do this Tuckerton Porchfest thing.
Nice. And this is your first
Riveting.
year.
Technically
Doing it.
third. I'm going to say
Technically
third.
Not the third year.
Shut up. Yes, it
It's
is.
not the third year.
The first year, we did all the work for a Porch Fest and everything, got the maps, you know, it was all, and we did not choose a rain date and we got rained out. It was not just rain though. And I know that's exactly what you were just going to say right now.
Absolutely, I was.
It was like a hurricane. We got like hit with a hurricane. We were like, oh, so the planning happened. All the hard stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
but you know
Not
what
the
though?
fun.
Here's where that went wrong, because we had it on September 30th of 2023. That's when it was set.
Mhm.
The same weekend as that decoy show that happens in Tuckerton every year that they've been doing for 4 decades, that they canceled one time, and it was that weekend.
Ah,
Yes.
yes.
And when we didn't really settle on a rain date, we did talk about it though. We were like, well, what are we going to do? It's going to be into October by the time we do a rain date or something.
Yeah. Well, we
And
were
then
like, I'm busy. Then I'm busy. We like went back and forth and we're like,
Everyone, and it was like so many people after that. By the time it got to the point where we could even do a rain date, it was so far into the fall. I'm like, no one's going to want to be out here.
Mhm.
No one's going to want to be standing around. It's going to be too cold, too
Christmas
windy.
That's fair.
Porch Fest.
And we were like, all right, let's just push it off to the spring then. And then it went great.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a little cold. So that's why this year we're doing it in May.
Yeah.
But also you didn't introduce yourself. So
Oh, I'm Chris Rockwell. I am co-organizer. I'm doing the graphic design and stuff, the web hosting for Porch Fest, and I'm Amy's partner in crime.
for now.
When you say for now, that was ominous. Like I'm going to get fired or
For
shit.
now.
Am I allowed to say shit?
Yeah, you can say whatever you'd like, actually.
Oh, no
Yeah, there's-
censoring. Love that.
Yeah, pretty much
Oh,
anything.
God, please don't tell him that.
Just don't it's not like a confessional. You can't,
Anything
Like,
I want, though.
don't
You
give me
said.
all your deep and darks because
Killer whales aren't whales. They're dolphins.
that works. I can deal with that.
Oh, thank God.
He finally got that off his chest.
They're all mammals, right? Whatever.
And you can quote him.
They are. So tell me about last year. So last year's happened in April.
March.
March. Okay.
31st.
And
Yes.
did the planning for the initial one kind of help you do your inaugural one?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like it was like things were already in place. We knew what we wanted to do.
The best part about that, though, in all honesty, was the sponsors were cool about it because the sponsors' money essentially got spent. You know, those banners, those flyers, most of it was spent. And a lot of them just doubled down with us and they said, just tell us what you need. And they stuck it out with us. So shout out to all our sponsors last year because they were all cool, especially Ian.
Oh, right.
Stuck Up Sticker Company.
Stuck Up Sticker Company. He
printed
made all our banners.
everything over again.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of his sponsorship. Like, yeah. He's such a real one.
Yeah.
Is he
love
back
Ian.
this year?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
very
doing
nice.
all the banners, the yard signs, and
He did our stickers.
Yeah, stickers.
So how do you go about shopping for sponsors? How do you shop this idea? Basically, you're acting as a producer would, whether you're producing a record or producing
That's
a movie.
exactly what Amy's doing.
Yeah. So that's all you.
It's
I mean,
it's
so far,
pre-production,
yeah. So I made like a PowerPoint presentation. Basically just reach out to local businesses and send them the PowerPoint presentation and kind of like pitch the event to them and see if they want to like partner with us and, come on board as a sponsor. Some people are like really interested and some people just like don't answer my emails and that's okay.
But pause. Two things. One of them, a lot of them don't understand it. They don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't get it yet. They can't visual. They have no frame of reference, like what this could possibly be.
Right.
Like,
Right.
What is
like
it?
once we keep producing this product, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Exactly. The other thing I was going to say is I have done sponsorships for events and Amy's just like shits all over mine because I never did a friggin' PowerPoint. Never. We looked at Amy's and I was like, holy shit. I was
no
like,
wonder why I'm not getting money for stuff.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. Who the hell has time to do all of this?
Did not take long. I have.
It would take us long.
Took me like
Wait,
20 minutes.
I made graphics and she used them for it. And I was like, holy shit, I can't even believe my graphics look this good. Oh my God, I can't even believe I did this. And it was great. When I looked at it, it was like, it made it easy to follow and understand.
Yeah, if you open up the PowerPoint, then you'd understand what the festival was. Then you would be like, oh, interested in, like, if you were a business, okay, I see what they're doing here. Maybe some people like just don't even open up the PowerPoint. They're like read the email and just kind of keep scrolling or whatever. But we have a new sponsor that we're gonna do something new, which we haven't done. Like all of our sponsors, basically, like the draw, right, is to be listed on the poster, to be listed on all the maps that are going to be spread like wildfire.
Social
to be
media, blog.
like to be tagged on our social media, to be their website linked on the blog. Then like those are things with the tiers, but we kind of like put our heads together ish. It was kind of, I think, my idea. I'll take credit. It was my idea.
It was all Amy's idea.
To do like,
so if it fails miserably, it's Chris's fault.
Actually,
Nice.
it's really
Wait,
good.
whoa.
Because like I've been tracking like our social media and like the reach, and like I've just been like basically this whole year taking notes and researching what works. Do you know what I mean? Like what spreads the news, testing things on my own personal social media.
It's really cool. Like you're really diving into like the analytics part of it too, especially if like Tuckerton is not, like Chris was saying, they can't see the value of a porch fest because they haven't seen it before. But up in the county that I live in, they're pretty common, porch fests, and they do really well. So it's nice.
Where's that, Monmouth?
So I live right on the cusp of Camden and Gloucester County. And
So who's doing it over there?
oh man, Gloucester Township, Collingswood,
Yeah, Collingswood.
Audubon, Haddon Township. Like it's a nice blueprint, especially Collingswood's. I feel like they've been doing one for, if not a decade, pretty close to it.
That's legit.
But for you to kind of take this idea down here, I should like geographically say it is, south of those counties, but like it's also closer to the shore. So I feel like the appeal to come down here would be even better. So what, as far as, the artists that you're reaching out to perform, or if do you have like vendors and stuff like that? Like, what's the whole experience look like? Say, you come across the flyer for Tuckerton Porchfest and you're like, I want to go to this. And you're just like a regular person, and maybe you got a kid or two and you want to go and have a day in Tuckerton. Like, what would their experience kind of look like from the beginning of the day to the end of the day?
Yeah. So they're going to be from 11 to 3. There are going to be 6 porch locations, 2 of which are located within the Tuckerton Seaport Plaza. So not only is it family friendly, but you can also like tour the entire Tuckerton Seaport, and it has like a nice little like walkway all around the water, and it's like takes like 5 minutes or something like that. It's absolutely beautiful. But we have like rotating acts all day on those 6 porches, and the 2 porches that are at the Tuckerton Seaport, like that's where like a big parking lot is. It takes about 3 minutes to walk to the second set of porches,
Okay.
Which everything is located like right on Route 9, Main Street here. So it's very accessible, and yeah, it's going to be really nice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's going to be May 31st.
Right.
So it's going to be like gorgeous weather here. And
it really is. Like, I actually, usually when I come down this way, I take the Parkway or the Expressway or whatever. Today, it brought me through Pine Barrens. It brought me through Wharton State. So it's like, it's picturesque down here. Whatever, whether you're driving by a lake or a creek or wherever, like everything is beautiful down here. Even just driving with the windows down in town, you're getting that breeze, like you're in a cool spot. So
That's amazing that you just said that.
Yeah.
Because I don't think most people feel that way about this area. And
Really?
Amy and I, yeah, and we tell each other all the time, it's really like beautiful down here. And it's just, I mean, for one reason or another, everyone's got their connotations over whatever.
right, for this town or this area in particular.
But the porches are like, we're looking at this like not 1 year at a time, right? We're looking at like, how do we grow it? What potential is there?
But also like,
And
how
there's
do
so
we
many
make
good
a difference?
porches.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Say again?
how do we make a difference in this area? Do you know what I mean? Like,
That's a big deal, actually.
like this is something that can make a difference in a lot of people's lives. Like, do you know what I mean? Like this year we have like the Tuckerton Elementary School Chorus performing, and
That's
most
so
of them have
awesome.
never done anything like this in their entire lives. And like my daughter is one of them. Do you know what I mean? So it's like
It's awesome.
the music teacher. Like she couldn't even believe that. Like she was asked to do something like this. Do you know what I mean? Like, so like just that one little, and imagine it's like that times 40.
Well, you know what it is? It's the inclusivity. It's every age group.
Right. Well, because the porch at the Union
kids
Market
are performing all the way to like
Right.
the seasoned veteran musicians that are around here are
Mhm.
performing, and like every age in between, and it's like, and it's inclusive in any way we could have made it inclusive.
Yeah.
Like every style of music is featured. Like, so at the Union Market porch is basically like what I'm calling, I guess, like the hip hop spoken word porch.
Really?
Yeah. In my mind, I'm calling it that. And now it's out there. So
In my mind, I'm calling it that.
And then like that's Tuckerton Seaport. That's like the family friendly like porch with like my friends Mindful Melodies. They own a yoga studio, or it's a wellness center because they're rebranding because they're doing live shows there. They're booking acts, or actually booking a punk show. I'm actually
Nice.
trying to get my friends that we may know on that show.
Dog Beach?
Maybe.
Oh,
We'll see.
No, I'll twist their arms and make it work.
They would be.
You
It would
got it
be
like that?
so
Yeah, I got
great.
it.
It would be
I
like
I got the in
honestly.
on those guys. I'll just
I
yell
may
at
have an
Tyler.
in too. Do you know what I mean? So
You might
I
have
may
more
have
of an
like
in than
4
I
of
do.
them. Well, 3. I don't really know Kevin that well.
Yeah. But no, it's so cool. You should have them do like a yoga session during Porchfest.
Oh, well, that's the cool. So they do like Mindful Melodies, but also like at that porch, that's where the Tuckerton Elementary School kids and a friend of mine, Maddie Hogan, she's like country, but her songs are like very like poppy and related to like kids. And I feel like she can relate to a lot of kids. And the Coyote Jack Band is there. They're like local legend. And then if you go on down to the other porch, we're having Telegraph Hill Records.
Okay.
So I'm like, it's really exciting for
Right.
me. Can't really talk about who they're bringing out. I'm letting them announce who they're bringing.
Okay.
Once they announce it, I will talk about it and talk about it and talk about it. Maybe once we're not on air, I'll just tell you.
Cool. See that? I got the exclusive, guys. Be jealous.
You got to drive all the way to Tuckerton and knock on my door to get the exclusive. And then down a couple doors, that's where Jerry is running his porch at that blue house. That's like on our social media. That's I really like that porch. It's a really cool porch. He's doing a couple of different acts, but they've all played Elephant Talk before. Okay. So like that's his thing, you know. He's
so I mentioned Jerry as much as possible on the show. He's the infamous Jerry on the Loud Love podcast. I still haven't had him on as a guest.
That's hilarious. He was going to try to be here today, but it's his son's birthday and they were celebrating. So
that's way more important.
He has to be elusive.
Yeah. Honestly, like he's done just like so much for me, but like not really. He's like, I mean, I guess put an effort in, but it feels like effortless. Do you know what I mean? It feels like what he's doing for me.
What he's doing is a big deal, but him doing it to him is not that big of a deal.
Like it's
him doing it is just in stride with what he's always doing.
I feel like that describes Jerry to a T.
Well, you know what it is? I don't know him too well. This is very recent, me like knowing him and chatting with him and whatnot. And it's very obvious right away that he's tapped in all the time. Yeah.
He's one of the best human beings you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
Seriously.
He doesn't like clock out.
Right.
That's why it feels effortless for him. You know, like I can deliberately breathe. I can do that. But also I'm breathing all the time. Mm-hmm. That's what it's like for Jerry. It's just so obvious that he's like that. He's always doing it. He can go deliberately take certain things and go, okay, I know I can do this part and do this. But the rest of the time, he just stays tapped into the process. And I think that's why he can accomplish so much.
When you like lead with like a sense of like, I don't know, just like compassion, vulnerability, in a sense, people feel like you're trustworthy. Do you know what I mean? And they want to, you know, get behind things that you're doing. You know?
Well, you know what? I really love that you use the word vulnerability. I really do, because there's an approachable aspect to that. When someone is courageous enough and secure enough to be vulnerable, you do trust that person more. You know, and then the community will rally around people like that because they feel safe there.
For sure.
Everyone's going to go where they feel safe, and they're not going to go where they don't. It's like, that's not like rocket science.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
So with someone like that at the helm of a porch, it's great because first of all, it inspires you to be more like that.
Right.
You know, it inspires me to be more like that.
Right.
And then
also I don't have to worry. Do you know what I mean?
Trust
like
him.
I do. I trust Jerry. Do you know what I mean? And I have issues trusting others for good reason. But, you know, he makes it very easy to, I don't have to worry about that porch all that day. I don't have to stop by there. And you know what I did last year? Too much. Do you know what I mean? I did way too much. I tried to be in two places at once. Who does that?
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
All
and
of
I don't
us.
have to this year.
That's why we're all in this room together, because you can probably all relate to that feeling.
Yeah, I'm not doing that anymore.
Trying to be in multiple places at once.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing that anymore.
Well, bringing up
either. No.
Bringing up that idea of vulnerability, right? Or having a place where you can bring a welcoming atmosphere. You want people to be here. You got the right people doing that for you. What inspired you to want to create that here in this town with this event?
I think that was not an initial decision out the gate. I think that developed when we started talking about what we really wanted out of it.
Right.
That developed.
Like the first initial thing was like, I heard about a porch fest and I was like, oh, that's so cool. I want to do that.
Well, Amy,
I want to make that.
But wait, Amy, you weren't even in this house for that long. You were like, I have a porch. So initially you were like, I have a porch.
But I don't want, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good on that. No, I don't want the entire public just having my
converging on your
different now,
come
right?
to my porch.
Once you realize what it was.
A big no thanks.
I think we should have the after party here.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Okay.
That works.
Yeah, see? That was easy.
Like one of those like bank vault bubble parties. We'll just do it in your living room. We'll just put bubbles everywhere. And
yeah, I love that.
Jerry said I should start house shows here. That's what he said. He's like, you set up right here. I was like, what, Jerry?
I mean, you got a great space for it. You got the wood floors. I don't want to like give too much of your digs away to people listening.
Band could set up right by the kitchen.
Yeah. You know,
What could possibly go wrong?
if anybody
Famous last words.
gives you crap, you could just give them a swirly in the washing machine over there.
Yeah.
You'd be good.
It's a smart touch one too, so
Yeah.
just easier.
I keep that fire on me, okay? That's one touch, you done. I keep that thing on me.
Death by Maytag.
You're going from Maytag to toe tag, son. You don't even know.
Oh shit, that
See
was
that?
so good.
You don't
set
even
it up.
know.
He slam dunks it. That's how it goes.
Oh man.
So this is what families can expect when they go to Tim Porch.
It's a family-friendly
Yeah,
event.
This is the
I'm
after
seeing
party.
on porch.
This
Aren't
is
you
after
emceeing, or you-
party. I am not. No.
That's
We have
poetry
different
songs for Amy, not
poets.
emceeing.
Yeah, we have different poets emceeing. Gia Rose from the Azures is
Okay.
emceeing at Jerry's porch.
I love Gia.
Yeah, and at right across the
Blush?
street. Yeah, right across the street, Blush the Poet is emceeing Elliot Barber Shop. That's where
That's so good.
Tyler is stage managing. And that's where I'm playing. That's where he's playing. Dog Beach is playing there. And Ill Rendition.
Oh yeah.
And then there's a few acoustic people in the front of us. I'll say it because I'm gonna post them anyways. And I already posted Space because I just did a show with her at the Lizzie Rose Music Room. She is just incredible. And then Zinnia Moon, who is Sahara Moon's sister.
Okay.
She's like a local legend in
She's
this place.
amazing. You never heard her?
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that whole lineup, and I looked at things.
That's all on that porch?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I know, and that's where
Is that
I'm
the main
playing.
porch?
I'm like, it's Zinnia, and then it's Space, then it's Lily's a David duo, and then it's me, my band, Ill Rendition, and Dog Beach closes it out.
Nice.
We're labeling that the rock porch, just because the 3 bands at the end.
Sure.
And then over at the Lizzie Rose Music Room, there's
Lex is playing there, right?
yeah, Lex Ross is there. Newcomers, Pinky and the Brain. So Maya,
Oh,
I
that's
know.
I love
So
it.
proud of her. I'm so proud of her. I'm just
Well,
like,
she played last year. Maya,
She did.
solo.
she played
So
solo
now they
and
got
she
a
did,
duo.
yeah. And now she did a couple of, I do this other series of events for women, and she did a couple of those for me. So watching her grow, it's been a really cool process. But they've got something good. And they're playing there, and Burnt Tavern is also playing there.
Okay.
They're closing out that porch, and Jimmy Brogan, Ted Hammock, Matt Fisher.
I can't even believe.
And Johnny Zarfrati, who he's from Cape May County. He's
my God.
he's blowing up a little bit right now. If you haven't heard about him, you probably will. He's really folky. He is playing at the Stone Pony, I think, on the 18th or something like that.
I was looking at
May.
these maps
Yeah,
and
I
I
think
couldn't
so.
even believe the lineup we had
Yeah,
this year. I'm
yeah.
like, these are
It's
all going to be
Dream.
on the
Yeah, it's
same.
Dream Team. Yeah.
What is
Are you
happening?
playing, Chris?
Yes.
Yeah, he's at the
Yeah.
hip hop porch where he's
Okay.
At the
emceeing
Union Market.
at the Union Market.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And Big Boss Knopf is
Yes.
there.
Big Boss Knopf. My band, the Chris Rockwell Collective. Soup is playing. Chris Kunz is doing a set. Offshot is playing after us. And then Kiefer and Friends, which is my drummer's other band that he's in, Brandon Kiefer's project, which is cool. And then I know Liz Spivey is one of the poets, and Bella from the Last Stand open mic where we have at the Union Market. She's going to be one of our poets. And there's a few more poets that I'm waiting to hear back from, but they should be intermittently dispersed between the acts.
Peppered in.
Would you say that getting booking
Peppered.
poets peppered
Oh,
in?
oh
yes.
yeah. Peppered in.
I got that from Monique. You can thank her for that. She wrote that one time, and I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. Gonna pepper things in from now on.
Yeah.
Just a little spice.
A little bit.
Just a little spice. That's all you need. So it's booking poets. I would say booking bands is easy, quote unquote, in the sense that there's a large variety of bands that will just converge. If they hear that you're throwing a show, you're probably going to get 27 emails in the first hour. Is it easier or easy, I should say, to find poets in the same manner?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's easy.
Okay.
The tough part about poets is not getting them to be willing to do it or be available to do it, but getting them to text you back.
But also, like,
anything.
if you're in that scene, so like it's easy for
Myself
you
included.
maybe to get poets, right?
Well, that's
because you're
another
in
thing, too,
that
'cause I just
scene. Like, if Vinny was like trying to do a show and get like some cool poets to like host his show, you know what I mean? He probably wouldn't really
They'd be
know.
like, who the fuck is this guy?
You
Right.
could ask me. I'm a poet. So
There you go.
So
I would do it for you.
That's a good point because I host the open mic at the Union Market and there's poets there all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I pretty much cherry pick and see who's showing up like consistently. I check to see who's
It's
improving
vetting.
and who's getting
vetting.
hungrier.
You don't even have to say cherry pick because cherry pick could have like a negative connotation, I guess,
How
to
so?
it. Well, because like then you're picking the best of the best. You know what I mean?
That
Like,
is what I'm doing.
wow, you're vetting. You know what I mean? If you like, you don't want to hurt
Well,
people's
you know,
feelings.
I don't care.
Kind of to your point, like what you're saying is you're looking for the people who are putting in the work.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're putting in the work. They're dedicated. And I think that's important for people who are listening, who are into the music scene in general, because this is what people
Valid.
who are booking are looking for.
Right.
If you're listening to this, you're wondering why you're not getting shows. It's because people who are like we're talking to today, this is what they're looking for. They want to see you put in the work. They want to see you communicate well. They want to see you want to do things for the right reasons. So I'm glad you brought that up because, yeah, vetting kind of like in your everyday gig to bring them on to the next big gig, right?
Bro, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Because when I'm sitting there and looking at someone and they do a poem and I'm like, okay, that was pretty good, you know? I've seen that a million times. I've seen a good poet get on the mic and do a good poem. Like it's not unheard of. It's common enough, you know? But when you see him do it like 4 months in a row and they keep bringing people out with them and everyone's like waiting for them to like go up and they deliver every time, then you're like, this is the time for them to graduate. They need to get on to the next thing. And Porchfest it's too easy for that to be the next
Yeah.
thing because we're doing it every year. And it's in the hometown where they're showing up for that open mic.
Right. Right.
So
Well,
you
and,
already
like-
know that they're around.
Yeah.
Give them the next shot. Let
Yeah.
them do 4 poems instead of 2. You know what I mean? Let them do 3 or 4 or something like that. Give them 10 minutes instead of the normal 5 they might get. And give them that little extra bit of platform because they always grow into it. You know, the ones who are consistently showing up and are hungry, they grow into it. If you give them the fish, the bigger tank, it grows into the bigger tank. It's like that for every time.
I even like when booking like the musical acts, I feel like a lot of that kind of transfers over as well. So like Bob from Dog Beach is so dedicated
Yes.
that like regardless of who I'm friends with in that band, he was getting booked because of I've seen his dedication at like
That
you know,
energy's
shows.
infectious.
Yeah. Yes. And
Maya.
like you can get me if you can get me and like I feel like
No, you
I
love
love music and if I will vet people for a while. I'll come to there. If I'm interested or maybe like they reach out or whatever. I'll like make it a point to go and like see what you know what I mean, what I'm in
You
for.
go out to shows
you know,
a lot.
I do because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But also like if you can get me, that's like all right.
Yes.
And you know, like I'm hard to get sometimes. I can be. I can't because I can just disengage and like. But if you can grab my attention and keep me, then it's like oh.
And do you feel like a lot of that is just the presentation when they're on the stage, or does it also have to do with how they act off the stage?
No,
Absolutely.
I need to be good in
Yeah.
the locker room, not just on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. Like so, like or if you're like talking to not just me, but like you know, if I see you engaging with like other people, do you know what I mean? It like shows me that like you care. You're not just like playing your set and getting the fuck out of there. Do you know what I mean? Like
Right.
I dislike that so much. Stay. Where are you going?
Right.
You better stick around. I would never book a band if I went out to see like their show or whatever and then saw them unplug, leave, and not support the band, the headlining act after them. I would never. That's like a red flag. That's like for me.
Oh, that's a red
Do you know what I
flag,
mean?
yeah.
Like
Calling that
have
a red
little,
flag just was so musical to me.
It's so red
That's a
flaggish.
red
Like what are
flag.
we doing here? You know. okay, of course, there's extenuating circumstances.
That's not what you're talking about.
Like, but no, I'm not talking about your kid's sick and you need to run.
No, you're
like,
talking about someone who you've seen do that once. Next time you see them, they do it again. Like,
exactly. Yeah, no, big pet peeve, huge pet peeve. I think that's like a terrible thing to do. It's not supportive. It's not community building. It's not what I'm about at all.
Well, that's another thing too. That's what I was saying. If you're going to go, you go out of your way to make it to sometimes I have just 2 shows in a night. To go
if
check
I
out.
don't have kids, you better believe
I know
I'm
that.
bouncing around. I stop at his open mic, then I'm going to see my friend here. Then I
Yeah.
literally then one time went out to like Mount Holly to see Dog Beach like for their set at like
From
10
here?
o'clock. Yeah, but like
that's what I'm saying. If
I'm about
if
it.
she's doing all that, okay, that's giving so much ample opportunity for you to impress her because she's making herself so available for you to do that,
Mhm.
and you still screw it up and you don't do it. Then you don't get on the show. Like you don't get the gig.
Yeah.
I say this all the time. I would rather work with someone who's dope, who might not be the most talented writer or musician, over the most talented writer or musician who's not that cool.
Right.
Or who isn't like there for the spirit of it. I don't care how talented you are. I want to know how awesome you are as a person and how much you give a shit about what's going on.
Oh, and if you're mean, sorry, you're not allowed.
Get the ego out of here.
You're not allowed. You're just not. Because there's a lot of that in this scene. You know what I mean? There's like a lot of like
As any
just
scene.
bad
Yeah.
mouth. Like there's different like joking. Do you know what I mean? Like that's different.
Right.
But like I've experienced people like really bad mouth people. And like it's like, you know, and I've been treated like poorly. Do you know what I mean? In this like scene by certain people.
I
So
think
it's like
Chris said the key word is ego, right?
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of, in the arts in general, there's a lot of folks that have that ego. And they'll build an entire band around them. They'll drag those band members with them to satiate their own ego.
Literally have done that. I have.
Oh,
been
you
there and
have done that?
Yes.
What?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't know,
have done
man.
it.
I mean,
years ago.
tell me about this. How is that you? How have you changed? I don't get that vibe from you now.
That's good.
I would hope not. Yeah, because I don't want to be like that. But I was a shithead for like
Oh.
most of my life, and I definitely did that to people for sure.
Hmm.
Because I was, first of all, so single-minded. Okay, and second of all, it's so funny because I was talking to one of the poets yesterday about this. They call it imposter syndrome sets in. So you could be on a streak and somehow a thought just gets in there and you're like, what am I doing? Where's
I don't
this
belong.
going?
Yeah.
Right. Who's going to listen to me? Who's going to want me to do anything? Right. And you feel like you're unworthy. And there was a time when I felt so unworthy that I did so many things to make myself feel worthy. And if you asked me, I couldn't even name what I thought I was unworthy of. I wouldn't have an answer. There would be no, I don't know. I just feel unworthy. Well, once I started realizing there wasn't really a list of things I could name that I felt unworthy of, I started being able to tell myself, you're not really unworthy. This is just your shortcomings and your character defects that everyone has. No one's perfect. Everyone has them. But you have to unpack yours. You have to make peace with them because they're not part of who you are. They are who you are.
Right.
Once I got like that, there was an actual confidence, not an arrogance, not a cockiness, a real confidence in what I was able to bring to the table. And then I said, well, now I'm not gatekeeping anything anymore because I feel like now that I have something to give and I feel worthy of any attention or whatever, like when it's real, you feel like, okay, I could receive this now. And then you can spread
really
it
cool.
around and get other people to feel that way. And then they can pass it forward to them. And then you're, planting trees.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting
And then
it.
you're a gardener.
Well, I was just chopping trees down before that. I was just
Hey.
like, I'm just like hoarding. I need
You're
more
like
paper.
Fern Gully, and now
Yeah.
I just
I was-
watched that. Sorry,
Chris Fern Gully Rockwell.
he came in like a bulldozer.
Hexus. Was it Hexus or
I think
Hexus?
this is right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's right.
It's cool you
Texas.
bring that up though, because like I'm a very, I don't know, I'm a very vibe oriented person.
Yeah.
So like if I walk into a room and I'm feeling an energy and I'm like, oh, I got to watch out for this person, I can tell like you don't let off any of that at all. To me, like you said, you're planting the seeds now. You're watching those seeds grow in the trees and you're creating almost like a little forest of talent of your own just by the things you're doing to inspire those people now, right? That's the vibe I get. But it's cool that you bring that up because there's people that can learn from that. Whether you're young in the scene, in your late teens, early 20s, or if you're, I'm older now, you know? So if you're years old and
Or
you're
just say it. Who cares?
yeah, I'll be 42 this year.
I'm 41. I'll be 42 this year.
Yeah, see?
I'm 37.
See that?
Just for people who couldn't see that, Amy did the best hair flip.
The pink hair flip.
37.
Better than my hair flips, I'll tell you that. But no, seriously, like you can learn at any time. You can kind of have that resonate with you at any time. And when you unlock that, that's when all the bigger things start to happen. That's when you can create an event like a Porch Fest or any other event, really, that brings people together, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's super cool. So why here? Like why Tuckerton?
This is
Well,
where we're at.
it's where I live, you know, and
I work at the Union Market.
which is in
Okay.
Tuckerton.
Yeah. And that's like in the Tuckerton Seaport.
Yeah.
And the owner, Erin, I swear to God, Amy, when we first started talking about this, I was working. I was on the clock. She was sitting there having lunch on the deck. And we were having the conversation while I was running food and drinks past you. Remember like the beginning of it? And I just went into the kitchen and I said to Erin, I was like, Amy wants to do like a porch fest. And she was like, we have a great porch. Let's do it here. It was not hard at all.
Yeah. It was
It
just
took
birthed
45
like that, yeah.
seconds to do the whole.
And I'm like,
the whole
wait,
thing.
we should do other porches. Oh, let's see who we can
I
get.
swear to God, it didn't take long.
I was like, wait, how do we get money? And then I like,
We just figured it out.
yeah, I was
I'm
like,
going to make a PowerPoint.
oh, yeah, yeah, because I was in college.
It never, I'm telling you, Vinny, not
Everything
in
was
a
a
million
PowerPoint.
years would it have occurred to me to make a PowerPoint. I've seen hers. I still don't fucking do it. I'm like not doing it.
It's an
I don't
art
know
form
why
in
it
and of
occurred
itself.
to her to make a PowerPoint. I haven't made a PowerPoint.
I was in school.
Since
That's why. I was in
yeah.
college. I was making PowerPoints. I just did a genogram and like
What now?
a genogram. It's
Is that
like
the
a
same
like
as
your
like a
family
Passover
history.
Stupid idiot. How do you not know what a
Basically-
genogram is?
It's like a. It's not like
Two idiot
Instagram.
men. You don't know what a genogram is?
That's funny. No, it's like a family history basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'm not really connected with like any of my family, but like I know I found my one aunt on Facebook. That aunt comment on one of, I was like, that's my aunt, bro. Like, but anyway, I
Now that you
and,
explain it like that, a genogram makes a lot more sense.
Yes.
yeah, and I found her Facebook and I inserted a picture of her cat because I was like, I don't have a lot of family, but here's my
Not the cat.
my aunt's cat that I found on Facebook. Like, I don't know. Like, no, it literally the whole class was like uproaring laughter. I was like, all right, cool. All right, this worked. It
That's
landed.
amazing.
But I was like already in that mode of like creating these visual like presentations, you know, because like in college,
Keep it
that's what they
rolling.
want you to do, you know.
And I'm sure
So.
that the other part of it as well, it wasn't just the fact that you sent the PowerPoint. You had a goal in mind and you weren't about to take no for an answer, right?
Oh, correct. Yeah.
I'm sure you got a lot of no's, but
Yeah.
you were determined to do this. So what is that like for you to be able to dedicate yourself to something and see it through to the end? Like what kind of advice would you have for people who are in your shoes?
She's not wearing shoes.
Well,
Next
that's what I'm saying. Who would be in your shoes because the shoes are now off and now they can come in
Nice recovery.
and put the shoes on.
Nicely done.
Yeah. So I would say, like, when you get like told a no, that there'll be someone who will say yes. You know, because
Taking a stride.
yeah, especially like, you know, when you're trying to build something, a lot of people, I guess, don't really see that vision. You know what I mean, or can see that vision, or.
That's
But
true.
another piece of advice I would give is to lean heavy in on the relationships that you've already cultivated with people and start from there and go out. Because
That's good advice.
Well, I went to my Facebook friends list and I was like, do you own a business? Do you own a business? I like in my head and I'm like, no. And every person who I knew owned a business, I messaged them.
Well, you know what though? There's something to be said for that too, because you're saying you look at your network as it is right now and work with what you've got. But that if someone needs to take heed from that, what they have to take heed about is keep your network right all the time. And when it comes time to do something like this, you are ready.
Yeah.
If you stay tapped in, like Jerry or someone like that, like it's not going to be hard to do it because the whole time you've been building great relationships. because you're a dope person doing dope shit.
Right. And then people trust you and they're like, oh, yeah, here's $1,000.
But pause.
Do your festival.
On top of that, even if they don't know you or trust you, you go, I'm working with this person or this person. They go, oh, I know them and I trust them. So I'm going to go along with that because your network figured that out for you. The people who you're connected to are awesome as well. And then their connections become your connections through like cross-pollination.
Right.
You know, you're like, oh, this is great. So-and-so just said, I know so-and-so, and now they're in too. And then the network gets bigger, the event gets bigger, and that's where the growth really happens.
Right. Because it's not just about like growing like Tuckerton Porchfest. It's not just about growing the musicians.
Right. There's 364 other days in the year.
Right. But it's about growing the local businesses who sign on to help us. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Who are like, yeah, we see that. All right, we're in.
Holy community.
Right.
Yes.
And I think that of all the conversations I have just doing this itself, but like, you know, at large as well. But if you listen to all these episodes, the common thread is about the community aspect of everything, whether you're a street punk band that's traveling in a van across the country, or, you know, you're an artist from Brazil that's doing like session work for people. Like it doesn't matter. Like it's all about connecting with other people. And I think that like we lose that a lot in the age that we live in now with social media the way that it is. People are they think they're branching out because they're broadcasting themselves out into the open, but they're really kind of isolating themselves.
How fun is that, right? Like
Yeah.
the social media aspect, which is solely for you to build a network because it's a social network, is actually isolating you. It's having the opposite effect. How do you explain that?
Yeah.
How do you explain that people who are deliberately going and trying to amass a social network and a following are then struggling with actually connecting with people?
I think like
that's counterintuitive to me.
It really is. And you can have like an hours long like philosophical like discussion around that. I would be happy to dive into that. I'm sure we don't have time today, but in all seriousness, like I think what it is that you have this platform, right? It's so easy to broadcast from your phone or from your laptop or whatever. And you're like, people, I want you to love me. So love me. And this is what I do. And, you know, I'm going to kind of mimic what I saw on TikTok or what I saw on Instagram Reels or whatever. And people need to love me because this other person that I watch, a ton of people love them. So why can't they love me sort of deal? Well, you know, having that mentality, it's, you know, making it all about yourself isn't always the way to do it, obviously. You know,
it never is.
Or instead just focusing on the people that do love you, right? I mean, like the people that do show up.
That's fact.
Yeah. You know, and it's hard because with social media, you know, there's like a lot of like that false sense of intimacy, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, just like a persona that you're, you know what I mean? Like putting forth to get likes or whatever to promote, you know, whatever thing you're talking about, you know? But like, I don't know, going to shows. Do you know what I mean? Like introducing yourself, going to open mics, going to other people's events. Do you know what I mean? Like that's where, you know, I feel like for me personally, like, you know, I've usually kind of like until more recently, and I still kind of do weirdly, struggle with like, you know, like friendships and relationships. Do you know what I mean? Because like, you know, kind of like what you were saying, like the social media world of things, you know what I mean? Like it's easy to think someone has some, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because they're putting out a portrait of themselves that they want you to see and you're not really getting the real person kind of deal, right?
Right.
Well, I think that's what that just tied in. I think the phrase you just said, the false sense of intimacy, is perfectly articulating something that I have thought about for years, which is like, it's people who are doing things online that feel just like slice of life stuff, but it's curated. It's not actually like your real life.
Right.
It can't ever be. You know what I mean? Whatever that is could only be a small part of the whole picture for anyone. No matter how transparent you try to be, you're not ever going to get to know someone that way. That's not how it works. But we're going to get to know people when we keep going out to their shows and having coffee and drinks with them and shit. And you see them perform, but then you hang out with them after. It's different because it's two ways. That's the difference. When you're looking at it on your phone, it's only one way. it's intake. And everyone who watches that person is getting the same intake. So therefore, it is not a unique, intimate experience because it's shared with so many people in the exact same way. Intimacy doesn't work like that. When you have a connection where Amy goes into the coffee shop every friggin' day to the point where I get used to Amy and we just start talking even when I'm walking by running drinks, then a porch fest happens.
Right.
But that took time. Amy didn't get from me the same thing that every one of my followers on Instagram got. Amy got a unique organic experience with me. And then Amy goes to someone at their open mic and has another organic experience. And then I then meet people through Amy. She meets people through me. We connect together. Now you have that's the sense of a real community. It's not a social network.
Right.
It's a community. That's the difference. It's unique and organic every time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You explained it like so articulately. It really like and that's why I do what I do. So is this what drives the both of you? Like the communal aspect? Like what's in it? I don't want to say what's in it for you guys because I know that it's like multi-layered and stuff like that. But like short term, I know like you're thinking long term. You want this to last. You maybe want to like pass it off eventually to somebody else and after you've done your work. But like, what's in it for you guys right now? Like, what is it that you're hoping to achieve for yourself by contributing to the communal aspect of it?
We just love to play.
So it's big that. No, it's not. That's not like, yes.
We do
but
love to play.
I really do want, I really, really, really do want to give people like opportunities because I know what it's like to not have those things. Do you know what I mean? I know what it's like to be told, oh, sorry, no, we already have like people that we like who play here. Yeah.
So you're hoping not only to break down the gates that are being kept, you're hoping
I'm
to
gonna
make a new one.
those gates down with my foot.
With your bare foot.
Well, there's a lot of that too. Like you have to create your own opportunities.
Mm-hmm. But creating opportunities for other people like that. Yes. Yes, me. Of course. Yes. Yes, my daughter. Yeah, the students that I substitute teach. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, all of that. But for other people too. Do you know what I mean? Like that is like almost equal for me. Like I love me. Yes. I'm great. I love my music. I love to perform. I love to get on that microphone and use it like a wand. You know what I mean? I love it. But also other people do too. Do you know what I mean? And like I want and I just wanted to like bring everyone in. Do you know what I mean? Everyone in that like has impressed me this past year. I'm like, hey, you want to slot at Porchfest?
Yeah, but why do you want to do that?
Oh, because I want to give them an opportunity.
Yeah, but why do you want to do that?
Because
why do you feel compelled to do that?
Because
is it like a pay it forward thing? Like do for people what no one would do for you?
I mean, yeah, in a sense. Yeah. But also I want to like just build this, you kind of touched on a little bit, like this network of people who are like, in. Do you know what I mean?
Okay,
and
so
like
that's what I was going to say. It's like that adage, a rising tide lifts all ships.
Yes.
Right. So if it's good for me, it could potentially be good for every boat in the harbor. If the tide goes up, we all get lifted up. Like when that happens, it comes back around to you because like now you just have more people on the ground doing similar work. And when more businesses see it, by the way, I don't begrudge any business that won't do anything if it doesn't make them money.
Right.
Because we're talking about small
hard
business.
times. Yeah.
We're talking about small businesses.
Right. Like, family owned.
We were
stuff,
always talking about small businesses.
Yeah.
But
Never.
Now,
yeah.
Now, no, you have to because they're still the lifeblood of your community.
Yeah.
Is like Elliot's barber shop.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you're not going to get your haircut on Amazon.
Yeah.
No, that's so true.
You got to go to the barber shop. You got to go support them.
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon sent a drone over with a couple pairs of scissors and just.
Well, to be honest, my 16-year-old ordered a piercing kit and pierced her own nose through Amazon while I was at work. So
what?
It's impressive.
Anything is possible if you believe.
As a parent,
all things possible if you believe.
Well, yeah, that is very. But no, you're right. I mean, it's like the small business aspect of it of a porch fest. It's like you said, getting them exposure, helping them be part of the tide that's rising. So what about for you? Like what for you personally, Chris? Like what does this look like for you?
The first thing I said earlier was we love to play. I love to play. I love it. I will put on the same show for 5 people or 500 people or 1,000 people. They're getting the same show. They're getting the same show. It's going to be the same energy, you know? I'm not talking about like how loud and, you know, I guess mobile I am on the stage. Because if I'm doing a spoken word set, it's going to have a lot of energy, but it'll be more intimate. You know, it's going to be different, but they're still getting the same quality performance because I love it. And I love my band. I love every single person in my band so much. They're all so dope. They're good people. If I say we're going to show up at this place and we're going to play and they're probably not going to pay us anything and it's for charity, they just show up. They do rehearsals. This is the kind of people I want to surround myself with. And it makes me feel like amazing to attract people like that and to keep other people on that mindset in terms of like, it's kind of mutual aid, kind of like that. I mean, I do a lot of mutual aid, but things like this are almost like bartering with each other to get through everything, you know?
That makes sense.
Kind of, you know what I mean? And I love doing things when a community can lift itself up and empowering people, because then I get to live in an empowered community. That's what I get out of it.
I like that.
I just can facilitate that change and bring people in, and everybody wins. So last year, my New Year's resolution was do dope shit with dope people. And the first part's easy. The second part's not.
Right.
Finding real, genuine, like dope people. You're like, I love that poet. I love that musician. You know, like that person's so solid. That's hard because you got to be like that. Otherwise, they don't want to hang out with you. You got to be solid. So it keeps me right. This year, my New Year's resolution was do things where everybody wins. I want to put myself in situations where everybody involved in that situation wins. And that's even harder than the other one.
Yeah.
You know, because you really have to be very considerate of everyone involved, and you have to make sure you're listening.
And you got to hold yourself accountable too.
Right.
Yeah.
So like you have to be listening. You have to be willing to listen. You have to be able to like say, well, I can serve this person's needs and that person's needs. And then, you know, when everybody wins, that's the optimal, you know, situation. You know, when you look at something like Porchfest, it checks all those boxes. We're doing dope shit with dope people.
Yep.
And then
Dope people.
Who loses for this? People in the community just have to show up and you get free shows. Every 2 blocks is free. Bring your kids. Like you can't lose. And everyone in it is getting compensated something because we got sponsorships to pay for these things, to pay for all our printing materials. What do the businesses get? Well, they get all this extra promotion because they align themselves with the cause that was in the community. That was real people doing real shit. So everybody wins with Porchfest. There's nobody loses, you know, and that's why I want to do it. That's like what's driving me, you know. And at the end of the day, it like I said, it checks off all those boxes.
That's awesome. I think it's a great spot, like to kind of like recap and wrap it up. So, if you will, give us a list of those dope people again, real super quick. The different porches we have and the acts that are playing them.
Yep.
Yeah.
While Amy's looking that up, I'm going to do some shout outs to some of our sponsors.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, we're definitely going to shout out Donna Wilson and Stuck Up Sticker Company. Shout out to Ian Sticker Jesus. And shout out to our law firm.
Yeah, the Right Law Firm.
Yes.
They sponsored last year. They sponsored this year.
2 years in a row they sponsored.
He answered my email, I think within like 60 seconds. And he's like, he CC'd his assistant, send her the check.
Because
like,
they get it.
He was like immediately just like, yeah.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Shout out to all of our porches.
Yeah, and we have a new sponsor who we're going to be revealing. We're going to be doing some special content for, who just signed on, Breezy Bowls.
Breezy
They're
Bowls.
a new business in the area. So shout out Breezy Bowls and shout out Soup Can Magazine because
Thank you, Amy.
Chris owns Arts and Culture Magazine, and he's been really, really helpful with like getting all the businesses linked on his magazine and stuff like that. So that's been super helpful.
Cool.
But I do
lineup.
have the lineup. Yeah.
Rapid fire
So
lineup.
at the Union Market porch, Chris Rockwell is emceeing that porch and stage managing. And we have Chris Coons, Molly Koger, Soup, the band, the Chris Rockwell Collective, Big Boss Knopf, and Offshot. Then at the Tuckerton Seaport porch, we have Shanti Revolution emceeing the porch. We have the Tuckerton Elementary School Chorus, then Billy T. Midnight, Meg Wallen, Denise Miller, Maddie Hogan, Mindful Melodies, and the Coyote Jack Band. And then at the private residence, it's the Telegraph Hill Records porch, and I'm not at liberty to discuss that.
But that's
yet.
131 East Main Street.
Yeah, really excited. Definitely follow them. They're going to be announcing, and then we'll talk about it. I'll do my bio post.
Is it Fern?
Them? No, they're doing. They're whoever. I think.
Oh, they're taking.
Yeah.
They're all going to be on the mic.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
sweet.
And then at the another private residence, the Blue Porch. That's Jerry Ryan's porch from Elephant Indie Festival. And emceeing that porch is Gia Rose from the Azures. And then the Lung is playing. Jordan Lively, Khalid.
Quesada. I love. So, do you know Khalid Quesada?
Yeah.
He's amazing.
You took the word right out of my mouth. Thank you. Then Morning Coffee, Dissonance, and Lackadaisical Lemon.
Yes, I love those guys too.
And
That's a good
They're
porch.
great.
Yeah. And then right across the street there at Elliot's Barbershop, we have Blush the Poet emceeing. And then Zinnia Moon, Space, Lilies of David, Amy Elizabeth Band, Ill Rendition, and Dog Beach. And then at the Lizzie Rose Music Room, we have J.C. Sutton. She's like a treasure
Jean
around
Sutton,
here.
she's a legendary poet.
Then she's emceeing that porch. And then we have Johnny Zafrati, Lex Raz, Matt Fisher, Jimmy Brogan, Ted Hammock, Pinky and the Brain, and Burnt Tavern. And then the after party that we were labeling it the deck party because it's on their outdoor deck outside. And we have special guests. Yeah, it's kind of a porch. We have special guests, including Allison Stella, the Great, and we will have an open jam as well. Bring your own cymbals, stands,
cymbals,
whatever.
Snare.
DM Tyler Morales if you have any questions.
Tyler's address is.
His phone number is 60. No,
slide into his DMs.
No, that's awesome. I appreciate you running down that. And that's May 31st.
Mm-hmm.
It is 11 a.m. to 3, and then from 3 to 7.
Yeah, well, 4 to 7. But yeah,
so you're gonna have like kind of an hour or two, kind of wind things down, get where you need to go, and then the after party starts.
Right.
All right. Very cool.
And our rain date is
June 1st.
The
next day.
All right. So keep that in mind if you're listening. I'll put all of the the websites, the social handles for all the sponsors, anybody who's helping out, as many of the bands as possible. I'll put it in the episode and all of the posts that I make and stuff like that as well. But yeah, I usually at the end of my podcast episodes, I play a little game. It's you said rapid fire. I do like a rapid fire round of like just random question shit. So
oh god.
Do you want to play?
Yes.
All right.
Is that the first question?
I love games. Can I win? Is that the question?
Can you win? I mean, like you win fabulous prizes in your own mind.
We have a mug.
I'm with that.
Commemorative T-shirt.
I do have some Loud Love merch. Whoa. I was actually looking for the microphones, and I was like, "Oh, I still have some merch left." So I should have brought some. I didn't even think about it. But I'll get you some Loud Love merch.
Okay, cool.
For participating in the rapid fire round. All right. So the way that the rapid fire round works is I just say something. It could be a person, place, thing, idea, and then you just give me the first thing that comes to your mind. It could be one word. It could be like, a full idea or sentence. You can go into like a philosophical discussion on what it is and why. And we can do it so that, do you want to do it so like you answer first and then you answer?
This is going to descend into chaos.
Yes.
I want to answer first.
And that's why I love it.
I'm answering first.
I wish there was video.
Is there a buzzer?
So knock it out of your
Like hit a
hands.
buzzer.
You're about to enter The Twilight Zone.
Okay.
I already have all my answers ready.
Number 1, Roswell, New Mexico.
Aliens. There's like what's that Area 51, right?
Mhm.
Right? Oh, there was that show too, right? On the WB. Do you remember that show? Roswell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about for you?
Beat that.
HPV.
Holy shit.
I mean, the
Is that where you contracted it in Roswell, Mexico?
That's my whole answer.
is it from the anal
Next
probe?
question.
There's so many questions now.
Next. Yeah, now who's asking the questions?
Okay, here we go.
I told you I had all mine ready. Next one's on deck.
Next one, DB Cooper.
I'm sorry, could you? I was like laughing internally.
No, it's all good.
Here you said,
you have
I
no
heard
answer for
Cooper.
that? DB Cooper. You have no answer for that?
DB Cooper, is that like is he a talk show host?
No,
That's funny.
He sounds like maybe he would be a talk show host. Are you sure?
he could have been a talk show.
DB
so
Cooper.
I
Is he
actually-
a baseball?
I actually
star?
have an answer for
He
this
is?
one.
He's baseball? Oh, I was like, shit, that was my other guess. All right,
I
go
actually
ahead.
have an answer for
All
this
right, go.
one.
It's my
I was
turn.
going to be a jackass, but now I'm not going to because you didn't have an answer. Okay. He is one of the only people who successfully hijacked a plane and escaped because he was able to jump out of it and he was never heard or seen again.
Correct.
How did you know that? How did you know that?
Where's my commemorative
Also-
t-shirt?
He could be a talk show host.
He could have. See, that's the thing. He could have very well been a talk show host or a
not.
baseball player or an anally probing alien. We
He's
don't
not
know
any of those things, though.
But that is the mystery of DB Cooper. So
Wow.
they actually just recently came up with some like DNA evidence. Like he left some stuff behind on the plane that they were to lift DNA from, and they might have figured out his identity.
Because that wasn't his
It's
real
not
name.
DB Cooper?
No.
I was like, well,
Yeah, this is back in the day where
I
like,
figured it
this
out
was
already.
decades ago.
That was the
This was decades
question.
ago.
this is when you can like smoke on a plane, when you can literally like you didn't need your ID or anything like
He's
that.
like, I'd like one ticket, please. Off you go.
Yeah.
What
Would
was
you
it?
like to fly the plane as well?
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, so he just signed DB Cooper. That was what he put there, and that was it. All right, so the next question I have is stand-up comedians.
what's
Oh,
the
my
question?
ex-husband thinks he's a stand-up comedian.
Okay.
He's not funny at
But I'm
all.
guessing
laughing now.
Actually, me, but no, it's fine.
Who's laughing now?
Yeah, I guess like stand-up comedy is funny. Yeah, I like it. I enjoy it. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite stand-up comedian?
Oh, that guy, that Sebastian guy.
Sebastian Maniscalco?
Oh my God, he gets me. I don't know. The second I see him, I'm like falling out.
Yeah.
He's so funny. Holy
My
shit.
wife has such a gigantic crush on that guy, and she won't
Oh no!
admit it.
See, I don't think he's attractive.
She likes
I just think he's
short,
funny.
weird Italian guys. Obviously.
Oh well, that's really good for you. I
said
think that's great.
Obvious.
Well,
Behold.
no, I just think he's really funny. I like the way he talks about the relationship with his dad.
Yes.
I think that's so. It's funny.
Yeah.
Like it.
How about for you?
Just name one? Or
Anything that
The
comes to
first
mind.
thing that comes to
I
mind,
used to
Chris.
host a comedy show.
Yeah, probably my ex-husband showed up.
No, probably not. I used to host
He said, "Probably not."
host a comedy show called Laugh Riot in Toms River. I co-hosted it with Mark Henley, and he's like a full-time comedian now. He's awesome.
Oh, wow.
That is so cool.
Yeah. Also, probably my favorite right now is Pat Bircher.
Okay.
Do you know
I don't
him?
think I've
Oh my
heard that.
God, he's so funny. Did you ever
Pat
see the guy who's
Bircher?
like
Is he like-
Bircher?
a local
No.
person or like a famous?
No, he's getting pretty famous.
Okay.
But he's like, I don't know if you ever saw the guy who's like, isn't it weird how we made everything up and it still sucks? You ever see that clip when he's like,
No.
do you know we turn the stock market off every night and turn it on again every morning? They're like, we're in a bubble. It's gonna blow any day now. They're like, well, leave it off. The fuck you doing turning it back on for? Fucking idiots.
No, I don't know that guy.
I don't even deliver half as good as him, and you're
And
cracking
that's why
up.
it's funny.
It's so fun. I'm gonna send you clips because you.
Oh boy, what'd you do, Vinny?
he's like
I'm
poking-
gonna get like 10 clips.
Amy,
of
he's
some
like dunking on like
fucking guy.
capitalists and billionaires. Like
All
that's
right.
up your
All right,
alley.
I'll give him
Come
a
on.
shot.
Yeah.
I'll give him a shot. I'll give him a fair shake. What do you want?
As long as he doesn't have a ventriloquist
He's gonna
dummy,
be
then we're fine.
so thankful that you listen to his work. I'm telling you. He's gonna
I'll
be
comment
so
on it,
grateful
too.
for it.
All right, I got 2 more.
Ooh.
All right, next one, Limp Bizkit.
I do.
HPV again.
No, oh my God, it's my turn. Anyway, I cover Faith, but I'm not like Limp Bizkit.
So wait,
but
is
every
it like
time
a mishmash of the
You
Limp
cover
Bizkit slash
Limp
George
Bizkit's
Michael
cover?
version?
No, well, I kind of do like a little bit of what he does, I guess, with like the instruments, but I don't like scream.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, I'm like, like I'm not. I could.
Yeah, why aren't you?
Wait,
But
what,
I'm not
what do you
gonna.
not do? What do you not do?
What?
Do it again. Do it again.
Just so you know, I do that to her all the time.
Yeah,
and I've
come on.
ruined that for everyone else because she's now so
No.
hyper aware.
No.
Because I was getting her like under the radar. I was like, "Can you what happened?" And she would just go, "Oh yeah," and she would do it again, and I'd be like, "That's right."
Damn it. Oh,
So
all right,
I
your
spoiled
turn.
it for everyone.
Or you already went, I guess.
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
I would definitely say like incontinence. For sure.
Not dense biscuit. It's not like you cook
Put it
like
back in the oven.
if
right.
If I were to pat myself on the back for one joke I did at my comedy show, I said,
Can't even get it out.
Donald Trump has done to red hats what Fred Durst did to red hats.
Oh no.
I don't know. I have a small
Red hat.
part of my heart where I enjoy Limp Bizkit to a very small degree. I think it's like,
Well, unfortunately, we didn't ask you this question, Vinny. You asked us. So let's move on. Who gives a shit?
and moving on.
Holy shit.
All right.
Holy shit.
Tell me how you really feel about Limp Bizkit. All right, so last one. Your favorite road trip ever?
Oh, I don't think I've ever really been on a road trip. I guess what classifies as a road trip?
Well, it could also just be like,
Because like when I was younger, I got like my mouth duct taped like on a road trip by like my uncle because I was
Yeah.
talking too much and we were driving
Well,
down to Florida.
I wouldn't think that that's your
For the
favorite.
people who can't see, there's
Probably
not a single look of surprise on my face nor Vinny's that Amy has had her mouth duct taped shut and wasn't being kidnapped. Not a single look of surprise. Nary a surprised look on any face in this room.
Not even
Her
a
cat walked by completely
Not even
unenthused about
Not
this.
face.
He was just like,
Unfazed.
yeah, checks
Sounds
out.
right.
Yeah. The cat just thought the only reason I haven't duct taped her mouth yet is 'cause I don't have opposable thumbs. Fucking roller tape's bigger than me.
Fuck you. Talk about your favorite road trip. All right?
All right, my favorite road trip ever is the one where Amy's uncle duct taped her mouth shut. It didn't have to be a road trip we were on, was it? Could be any favorite road trip, right?
Ow.
man.
Ow.
I don't think we could have ended it on a better note. Well, with all that said, thank you all so much for tuning in to the
Thank you
Loud
for
Love
having us.
podcast. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Amy,
Yes, this has been great.
for teaching us all about the Tuckerton Porchfest. It's going to be May 31st from 11 to 3, and then from 4 to 7 after party. Check out all the stuff in the description as far as links, social media handles, all that fun stuff. Please make sure you subscribe to the Loud Love podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. It's free on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, you name it. And if you'd like to be a part of it, just hit me up. Send me an email, loudlovemusicllc@gmail.com. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
Such a blast. I'm now
I
wiping
think I
away
won the game
tears of
too.
joy.
I'm just saying.
All right, there you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this really special episode of the Loud Love Podcast, Loud Love Live. I figure if there's anything that's coming up that we need to spread the word about right away, this is the best way to do it. So I know that I said last time on episode 11 that my conversation with my friend Alex Cross would be next. That will happen on episode 13. That'll be out very shortly. But I was just excited to sit down live and in person, all in the same room with Amy and with Chris. I just had such a good time with this conversation, and I hope that you did too. So please be sure to attend the Tuckerton Porchfest. You'll get all the information on social media. I'm going to post it over on my socials at loudlove.music. You can also find Amy's music and all the information about Porchfest at Amy Elizabeth, as well as Chris. He's going to be posting his stuff as well, Chris Rockwell. And as always, the best way to support us here at the Loud Love Podcast, just share. Share it with your friends and family who might really be into this kind of thing. Share it with people who are inspired by stories just like this one. If anybody's thinking about taking a big leap into something, it doesn't have to be music or the arts necessarily, but if they're thinking about doing something big, they can learn a lot from people like Amy and like Chris, and kind of how their stories shaped who they are now, and how they are able to put together these incredible events. So yeah, that about does it for me. I'm Vinny Marone, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Rapid Penguin Productions!